All right. Check everybody's audio. I think we're good. Welcome everybody to the playground. I'm Pixie Phoenix. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch. You'll have to forgive my stuffy nose. I'm joined tonight by Nox, my storyteller, Idaho, played by Skot, Vic, played by Zack. I'm your Alice, and we're waiting on our Martha. How is everybody doing tonight? How's everybody in chat? I see Punch Drunk is already here. Welcome. How did Monday treat you? Remember, guys, we always interact with chat. How was everybody's week? I know Knox was unpacking.
Still moving. Still moving. That does not look like that's going to be changing for another week or so. But yeah, that's basically been between that and getting ready for tonight and getting ready for the our exit interview on Thursday and then prepping for whatever's coming next. And so I mean, a lot of good shit. It's a lot to do, but all of it is worth doing, except for continuing to ask Roll20 why they can't make stupidly simple stuff stupidly simple.
Agreed. Well, somehow over the weekend, because I don't have a habit of streaming on the weekend, I surpassed 5,000 views on my channel.
Congrats.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. And I will tell everybody ahead of time that there's a new way that ads have been switched up. So I will let you guys know when a commercial break is coming up. Apologies, it's just kind of the way that ads are being done right now. It sucks. But yep. Quiet weekend here. Actually enjoyed some board game time with the kiddo.
Nice.
Whipped her ass at Scrabble.
I'm going to play Golconda for a triple word score.
I had to teach her that there is strategy, like you spread the words out toward the red points. You want the red ones. Once she caught on, she was like, oh. So now I've given up my secrets. And she's already like one up. She's getting up on me in Tetris. And I'm usually the Tetris queen, so.
So, do we want to do the recap now while we are waiting on our Mr. Starwell?
I think that's fine.
All right. Well, then, we'll start. Welcome, everybody, to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, Philly by Night. We are on session 48, just a couple of weeks shy of that 50th session. So, last week, the session ended with our coterie finally getting the meeting that they have wanted with Gigi and churning over the information that they found. In return, the coterie was treated to a large amount of information themselves. That the information that they're sitting on is on a bit of a clock, as there is at least one other party who is actively searching for the answers and is closer than they think. That someone has started to pointedly hire kindred to go after the personal lives of our coterie. That one of the kindred who is under their wing may be a much, much bigger threat than they had perceived. Bye.
Hi guys.
Dun-dun-dun.
So, with that said, it is indeed the next night.
Yay.
What is, well, I guess before we do anything else,
Housekeeping.
it's time for housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Hello, housekeeping.
And,
Ooh.
I'm hungry.
oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Al doing okay. Michael doing okay, but Idaho waking up a little cranky.
I don't know if I fed last time either.
Nope.
I'm gonna rouse the blood. Time to go feed.
So, we are going to make the assumption that everybody's goal here is to meet up back at the apartments or at New Rain. Excuse me, the Beacon. New Rain is dead and gone, and has been for almost longer than it was in existence as far as our chronicle.
Yep.
Just for our chronicles, not actuality.
So real quick, first thoughts of the evening. Idaho, you wake up. What's the first thing you take care of on your way to meet up with the rest of the coterie?
Well, I am actually curious about how I can get us a pack of dogs to, kind of aid in the protection of the apartment. So I don't know if I would just cruise by a shelter or something, or I would make that a part of a routine, or see if I get some help from one of our ghouls, just to kind of find dogs.
I mean, there's plenty of dogs being given away and up for sale for really inexpensive on Craigslist, like all the time.
So here,
no damn money.
So here,
No,
okay,
but like, you have the way to charm somebody into giving you a dog.
Well, so here's what I was going to say is if you were just looking for any dogs, like if you're willing to ghoul Chihuahuas up to Great Danes.
Yes, ghoul the fucking Chihuahuas.
No, big dogs, big dogs.
No, Chihuahuas, you have no idea how terrifying a fucking Chihuahua is when it comes for you.
Right up until Vic steps on it. So if you're just looking for anything, then then the world is your oyster, so to speak. But if you're looking for specific breeds, then your search ends up being kind of stressed to narrow it down. Like if you want, all of your dogs to be, jet black Malamutes, at that point, now we're starting to talk like there's a serious, search that has to be done.
No, I feel somewhere in between. I mean, however long you think it would need to take just to sort of cruise by the shelters and places like that to find, really the only thing I think Idaho would care about is that they be decent sized.
So like medium to large dogs.
Yeah.
So
even if it's like a medium, it's like a medium pity.
If you want an army of cats, you can come to Austin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, cats will.
So yeah, it's medium.
I mean,
large dog.
ask Nick Fury. Ask Nick Fury what a cat can do.
Okay, so here is what I will say. At this point in the evening, most shelters are closed. Most shelters tend to close fairly early.
Yeah,
super early.
So here's what I would say. You're gonna probably have to have Moira have the ghouls do that for you, or cool. Something like that. So with that pending information, I will put that.
Yeah. So I figured it was going to take a little while to, get that accomplished. So.
Okay. So putting that on the agenda, something that you would ask tell Moira about. What is your first thing that you would do waking up this evening? Heading just straight to the
Yeah, it's gonna be
apartments?
the same as always. You know, do I have any messages? Did anybody interrupt me while I was trying to sleep? And then head to the apartments.
Okay. The answer to all of that is no. Other than a message from Danny, who wanted to thank you for the other evening.
Really quick timeout. Is everybody's camera off except mine?
Nope.
Nope.
Other
Can
way
I-
around.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I see everybody.
We just see your
Everybody's
picture.
camera.
Are you
I see
serious?
you, like I can see your video.
I can see
Okay.
the video.
Not me.
I don't see anybody else's video.
Maybe
You might just
reload.
need to hit the refresh
I'm-
button in the top.
I
of your-
will refresh again and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I trust
I
me.
missed your faces. I'll be right
I
back.
had to refresh like 17 times.
Vic, first thing you wake up, what are you doing on your way to meeting up with everybody else?
I guess because I didn't get a chance last time because when we got here the sun was just coming out, so we didn't get a chance to do anything. But I'd fill Threnody in, let her know that we got a lead on Raoul.
Okay, so you would go to talk to Threnody. Now, when you tell her, how much information do you convey? Like, what exactly would you just to?
I mean, I don't think that I would hold anything back. I
We
mean,
didn't even get much. He was seen at that place.
Yeah,
I
just-
can't remember the name of the place, but
Okay.
so we don't really know much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we are waiting on our esteemed West Philly Baron to come back. Al, you wake up. What is your first thing?
As per usual, going and checking on Ruby and Lane. Association.
When you wake up, they are already gone. They have already headed to the bar and have already started to set up. If you were to peek out the window, you would see that there is already the beginnings of a line outside of the beacon.
So it's gonna be a busy night. I'll probably check my phone. Do I have any messages or missed calls?
You don't have any missed calls. You don't have any messages. There is, as you are trudging around your apartment, there is a feeling that kind of lingers. It is a feeling that is something akin to perhaps not questioning your mortality or your morality so much as feeling like am I above all of this? Is this what I'm meant to be doing? Is this a kind of a questioning your place in the universe? It is this lingering, intrusive feeling. It is almost alien in a way. It is a feeling of creeping isolation.
Can I tell if this is just a figment of the cobweb? Or is this my Malkavian, enhancement of all my anxieties hitting me?
If you would like to try to suss that out.
Yep.
I would say that's probably going to be wits and awareness.
Get my sheet open.
4 and 2, and you have 2 hunger, so I think you have 2 hunger. 2 hunger, so yeah, so 4 and 2.
4, 2.
Okay, so you are pretty sure that this is not internalized. This is not something that is coming from you, but it also doesn't feel like it is something that is part of the cobweb. It does not feel like there are other voices that are creeping out and are whispering in your ear or, screaming at you as you're.
So it's more like like when you get a sense of dread, like it just kind of comes on.
Kind of like that. It is much more subliminal. It is much more emotive than it is thought forward.
I'm gonna do sense the unseen.
Okay, that will be wits and aspects. Which for you, that is 4, 3, so 5 and 2.
5 and 2.
Okay. You do not see anything else in the apartment.
Then I'll head over to the club.
Okay, so then you're heading to meet up with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome back! Just in time! Perfect timing!
Maybe?
Maybe.
I'm here.
Okie doke.
Got a voice.
We got a voice.
No, you've got my voice. It's just for some reason, Roll20 has decided to crap out, even though it worked this morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say it worked great this morning. You had great audio.
I think it's just picking and choosing.
Yeah,
I think Roll20 is being a bastard today.
Yeah, that's
Roll20. I think that's what's going on.
It is indeed Roll20. I have no doubt about it because you were when we tested this earlier. Note for all of you who are watching. Martha asked me to test some audio video hardware with her earlier. Worked like a charm, looked great, sounded great. And now this. So
lame.
That's why I said hopefully if I can make the new layout work, then that will eliminate some of these issues. And we would only have to use Roll20 for like our character sheets and such. But it's a work in progress.
And rolling the dice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, I have an idea. I think I know what's going on. Yeah, hold on. I might just be able to fix this real quick.
Okay.
I will call you right back. So we'll log right back in. The dance of the dance.
So, with everybody going to the next. Okay, I see video. Nope. Almost. Nope. And for some people out there who are into that thing, there's your first spot on King Bingo tonight. So everybody is on their way to now. Where are you guys meeting up? Are you meeting in the conference room for the apartments? Are you guys heading over to the club? What is the?
I mean, I figure Idaho's typical thing, unless there's something else noticeably pending, is he goes to the apartment, looks to see if there's anything going on. If there's really nothing happening in the apartment, he leaves Brutus there and heads over to the club.
Okay, so when you go to the apartment, where do you just head straight to the conference room? Do you go to your apartment and check that out, or
probably. I mean, there'd probably be like a little round, like go to Idaho's old apartment, see if there's anybody hanging around in the different conference rooms, and if there's nothing happening at the apartment, then head over to the club.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you get to the apartment, to your old apartment today, it feels different to you. You're not sure why or why you would even feel this way. But when you walk in and you see all of Kai's artwork there and all of that, it almost seems like the colors are a little brighter. It feels like things are a little warmer. The apartment itself, even though checking the thermostat, same as it always is, it just feels a little bit more like home.
Okay. Interesting. And I guess Brutus acts like normal. He doesn't like freak out or do anything, does he?
Nope. Climbs right up on the couch.
I guess since it's feeling nice, I'll just linger there maybe a little longer than usual, and then eventually, like I said, go see if anybody else is around and/or head to the beacon.
All right, Mr. Starwell. First thing, you wake up. What's the very first on your way to meeting up with the rest of the group? What is the very first thing that you go to? That you do?
Thank you.
Jesus Christ!
Sorry, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know about you. I'm not hearing anything before I said it.
No, what's it called? Delivery is banging on the thing all the way over there, and he can't hear me because I'm all the way in the back of the warehouse.
Fair.
Hold on. Because of course everything is Go away, man. Okay, I think he's gone. All right, sweet. First thing I do when I wake up this morning after such shenanigans, definitely immediately check voicemails, phones, whatever, see if anything's like coming over the night, during the day, or like, and then probably reach out to Threnody.
So two things. Vic already reached out to Threnody to talk to her about Raoul, and gave the information, so you don't need to worry about that. As far as your impending in phone calls, there's nothing that's really of note, except that when you get into your office and you look at your business phone, you notice that the flashing light signifying that you have voicemails is off, even though you do have voicemails and they are triggered as being already read.
Somebody listen to all my voicemails.
That would be the way it would appear.
Interesting. I would like to check the security cameras without involving anybody else if possible, of like seeing who like came into my office this morning. I assume that I'd be able to pull it up from my computer.
When you go to check on your security cameras, the only thing that you find is it fuzzes out. There is a section there. It's not more than 4 or 5 minutes where whatever's on the camera, it just fuzz.
What time is that?
We'll say, for the purposes of this, mid-afternoon.
No, like actual like 4, 3. What are we doing?
Yeah, we'll say 3:30.
Okay. 3:30. Anything on the lead up before there? Like, can I check like cameras beforehand?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay.
And we should have an ad here any second now.
About a minute and a half.
My clock says it's 6:59. So, okay. So with this information, what's your next step? Or are you going?
That's a very high. I would know this power. This is an actual like thing that like Vic would be able to do eventually, right?
That Vic would be able
to do.
It's like
it's a level of obfuscate, right?
Yes, that would indeed be correct.
Have I gained that one or not? Because I know I was looking into it. Let me see.
That's the next level that I need. I'm at level 2. Level 3 is Ghost in the Machine.
And
so it's one up from Unseen Passage, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the next one up? Okay.
So here is the other part about this. This is not just like, so Ghost in the Machine tends to be, so Idaho, Al, you've seen what Ghost in the Machine does when you went on your trip to New York, where it just looks like it's fuzzy.
Yeah. Well, we'll cover it real quick and let everybody know we're going to take a very quick break in just a few seconds. We'll wait for you guys.
Okay. We have commercial breaks now.
I know.
This is amazing. Sucks. I'm so happy.
We've made it. We have corporate sponsorship.
Seriously, I can't believe we're sponsored. I'm so happy. This is so great. Such a level up.
And we lose Nox. Crap.
No.
He had his ad block on.
It's not, like I said, any real sponsorship. It's just a way that they're changing things up in order for people, small timers like me, to make any ad revenue. So
exactly.
You have to force the ad breaks instead of just letting them decide.
Like, instead of like YouTube having them break up your video, you have to like make sure to remember it.
That was creepy. One by one, all of a sudden, one by one, everybody's picture blinked. It was like,
how much time do we have on this ad break?
45 more seconds.
Okay, I'll be right back.
And the thing is, when it's recorded, like for us to upload this, it won't record any of the ads. That's just, they just get pushed out to the viewer. And so we'll have these little breaks in our YouTube videos because I don't know how to edit.
Go, come on, close, fucking close. Come on, Fluffy. Back to the room. Hustle, 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 all the way across.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go, come on.
And we're good for another 30 minutes.
Sweet.
Hi.
So it's almost on the hour. Almost.
All right.
All right. Yeah, so we were speaking about Ghost in the Machine.
So, you guys know from your previous experiences that Ghost in the Machine is it's very specific. When you see it on a machine of somebody that's on it, it's not that the video edits out all of the footage. It's that it edits out very selectively where the person is. It's almost like there is a kindred cutout on the footage where it's affected. In this
and this is
particular,
like the whole feed went out.
in this particular case, the entire feed is fuzzed out.
Okay.
So to a point, this might not even be ghost machine. This might be hacking, or like, or
someone
like
came in
signal
physically.
jamming or something.
Well, are we hooked up to the cloud? Is
I
our
don't know, tech
CCTV
person. You let me know.
oh.
I would assume that that your security is probably if it is backed up anywhere, it's probably local backups. I am fairly certain that you guys would not allow
Strangers.
I was actually going to say, video of you guys to be released on the wide world.
Interwebs.
Yeah, onto Google's.
Nobody needs to know that.
Vampires just need to make a contract with AWS like the government does and like close off the whole.
They did at one point. It was called ShrekNet. You could ask Gigi exactly how poorly that went later. So everybody has grouped up. Everybody is meeting. So what is tonight's first order of business?
Making sure, seeing how many people we have on the roster.
So on a busy night like tonight, everybody that is that needs to be at the club that isn't you guys is working. Robin is at her spot. Romano and Harvey are at the front door. Lane and Rhea are working their bar. Ruby is working the main bar, and having Clyde working the floor and also bar backing. It's not a terribly busy night, but it is already shaping up to be a reasonably busy night.
And Ruby's completely healed at this point, and so is Haddonfield and everybody else.
Haddonfield is gone.
Did he wasn't there this morning?
Nope.
He was only sticking around because of
Robin.
Robin, and now Robin's been claimed. He's like he's ghosted. He's like I ain't got no.
I find that kind of odd timing.
Did he leave? Do we know? Is there a way to ascertain whether he left last night or this morning? I mean, like last morning. Yes.
He left probably about an hour before you guys arrived home on the previous evening.
Ooh, so he's got a big head start.
He's got a lot of information.
That's not good.
We didn't by any chance implant a tracker on him, did we?
No.
Damn.
No.
Big one.
But didn't we give him a cell phone?
No.
That wasn't us. Okay.
He got his own.
Okay.
I think from Gigi, right?
I mean, he probably had his own from, being a lawyer.
Yeah, I don't.
I thought he needed a new one. I thought he didn't have anything from before.
He wasn't with us when we went to Gigi's or any of that. I mean, who gives a shit if he's around or not?
Well, no, just because it's a loose end, and he does have a lot of information that he could go share with Cams.
I think I would go up and check on Robin.
So, Al, you're going to go check on Robin. Well, you're checking on Robin. What is everybody else doing?
I might need to go feed, honestly.
Okay,
I'm pretty hungry.
So Al's going to go check on Robin. Vic's going to go take a minute to hunt. Idaho and Michael, what are you guys doing?
I mean, so we're really not having like a little conference thing. Everybody's just kind of going their own way.
I guess everybody came and was like, "Hi, bye," and then like.
No, I was thinking. I thought I
was just declaring my next move.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, because I would like to do War Room with the coterie.
So we will assume that that will be what you guys have said are the things you will do after this scene. Okay. So you guys are in the apartment, or are you at the club? You guys never use the conference room in the club anymore.
Well, if Michael's already at the club going over the footage, then I assume we'd meet there.
What was that at the club?
Oh, that was apartment? You said you went to your office to look at voicemails, right?
No, Michael has access to voicemail. He's got a desk in his penthouse.
Then I just misheard. I thought you had entered the office too. Okay.
No, just because like it would still let me know that the voicemails have been read, like they aren't new, even though they're from today.
Well, if you're there and Idaho's still there, just we can call it there. You could just shoot us a text.
Okay. So, what's up?
Next moves, and possible Hail Marys or trick plays that we might have going into this thing.
Well, we got a time bomb that we need to release in a way that is beneficial for us. And we've got anarchs in the Northwest that are proving to be more difficult than can probably be ignored.
So Meta, that was basically where we left off last week.
Northeast.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Again, good now. All right. So how are we going to go and put these other anarchs in their place? Like, before we released the video, it was advised that we figure out outs, correct?
Figure out, well, what I got from it is that this is an opportunity for us to do more than just expose Charles.
Right.
So we should figure out.
Thank you. Please, please, yes.
We should figure out the best way to make use of this bomb before we trigger it, but we don't have forever to think about how we're going to do that. There was talk that people expect that if we release this information, there will be a call for Elysium. What that would mean is we can anticipate that there will be a gathering at a particular location. That's something we could possibly use to our advantage.
Ooh, yeah.
We know that Shaw wants us to take out Charles and wants to be a part of it. So we have a way to possibly get Shaw somewhere and know in advance where that will be.
Do we have any inkling of Shaw's weaknesses? Like what we can have as a
bright lights.
Bright light. Thank you.
Carmine?
Just to be fully candid, I have not slept for 24 hours and have been working very hard straight all day. So thank you for bearing with my slow grinding gears. They need to be oiled. All right. So for us to actually get Shaw and Charles the same place, planning on hitting Elysium is a great one. How would we get lights in there? And how do we bulk up our backup? Like, we can't be just our coterie. If we had more hands. Yeah. But if we had more hands there.
Shaw will know what he's walking. We'll know he's walking into Elysium. We can't fool him. Like he knew last time. He showed up at the last one. So,
but what if he's lured there under false pretense? Though he thinks he's coming for something he definitely would want, and then
which is the downfall of Charles.
And then we flip it on both of them.
Right. I don't think Shaw's going to be fully relaxed ever. He doesn't strike me as the person who's never expecting, who's like not, he's always expecting the double cross and the side hit. That's why I feel like he's been a couple steps ahead of us this entire time. He'll like strike before anybody else can. So I feel like he might even be planning to do the same thing.
Maybe. I mean, we don't necessarily have to figure out a way to kill both of them. We could just get them in the same room and prevent them from getting out of that room.
Yeah, and that's what I'm wondering is like, how are we going to prevent them? How are we going to be able to prevent them from getting out of that room once we get them there?
I don't know. And then mopping up whoever survives. So
send them to Abraham's room.
Abraham. We don't even know where Abraham is, or if he would even.
No. But that room with that he was in, that they had the 2 doors with locks.
Yeah, but we
get
don't
him down there and lock the doors behind them.
Well,
but if we
if I'm not mistaken, what he's saying is that the island that Abraham was stranded on is a potential battleground for the 2 of them if you can get them there.
Yeah. I mean, now correct me if I'm wrong, because the idea, at least that Gigi seemed to think, was that if we release this information, there is going to be a call for Elysium. We don't get to determine where Elysium is. So what I think the way for us to do it is we have to take advantage of the fact that we know Elysium is going to be called. Otherwise, I don't see how we get Charles anywhere we want him to be. I don't see how that happens.
Well, everybody has something they want.
I just want to make sure that we have our asses covered and we know like we're not caught without like any way of dealing with either of these 2 like freaking megaliths.
Well, the whole thing's going to be risky. I mean, frankly, if Shaw wasn't around, I would think that Charles would be a lot easier to deal with than Shaw. But it depends on if we're going to, like I said, if we're just going to try to get them in the same room and hope that they kill each other, or if we're going to actually show up in force and like try a more conventional fight.
Can we have both?
I mean, we could have.
We call in reinforcements. We go back down our list of contacts and start putting out the call to see who will aid us in this. And that if Elysium is called, will they stand beside us? We let Charles and Shaw go at each other, and whoever's left standing, we have the manpower to take them out.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
I mean, we still had to contact Joan Jett.
Yeah. Frankly, I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to find her and suss her out, but I don't really know. I mean, she was caught. And she was in prison with Shaw. So she probably, is going to go after Charles.
No, definitely. But she could at least make sure that like Charles and Victoria don't get out,
Right. And in fact, I mean, that could happen. And then Shaw would just be laughing and wouldn't be weakened at all and deal with him, So there's a lot of things going on here. We could certainly try to get help from our Tremere, especially the one who apparently is a nuclear bomb waiting to go off. Maybe we could, point that in the direction we want.
Yep.
But we have to consider the fact that we've got those other anarchs that are causing us trouble. And it would be nice if we could find out if Raoul is still around and could be helpful to us.
So I guess right now the task at hand is acquiring and solidifying allies, preparing us and our allies appropriately, and going and putting some people in their place before everything hits the fan to maintain the "you can't fuck with us" status. So 3 things tonight. You think we can do it?
I mean, we certainly have a lead to follow up on Raoul to see if we can figure out what happened to him and if he's still around.
Michael, your cell phone rings. It is a call from Threnody.
I answer.
She says, "You're not gonna fucking believe who just walked in."
Raul?
Who?
Raul.
Vic
Walked in where?
points to Vic. Okay. How?
She goes, "I have no idea."
Does he?
Yeah, because motherfucker needed taxi money.
Yeah, but does he know where he's been or what happened or whatever?
No. She says, and this is the weird part about this. She says, taxi rolled up, dropped him off. Taxi driver specifically said that he was paid not to say where he was delivering Raul from. Raul does not remember anything since the apartments down south.
Is this on speakerphone?
I would have put it on speakerphone the moment that like she was like Raul and I said points to Vic. I would have thrown
Okay,
it
yeah,
on,
you did
on
say that.
speakerphone.
Trinity, she basically says he was there. He remembers when everybody was in the building. He remembers walking out the front door, and after that, he says the next thing that he remembers is stepping out of the cab.
Did
He
you?
has no idea what's going on.
Al, do you think you could help at all? Alice, do you think you might be able to help him remember?
You're muted.
No, one of my levels just like went crazy. So I'm just trying to make sure I have it leveled out again.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to ask if anyone got any of the taxi's information, license plate, number, any detail about the vehicle.
Yeah, just ask. We're on speakerphone.
That's what I'm saying. I'm asking.
Threnody, Threnody goes, no, it was a human.
I have to ask real quick because we're having a meeting at the apartments in the conference room.
This is Meta, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Now this is Meta. I thought Threnody was in the conference room of the apartments.
No, she's been convalescing and getting stronger downstairs in Vic's apartment, actually, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay, that's okay. So does that mean Raul is here in the apartments right now? Is that where he got dropped off? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Oh shit, let's go downstairs.
Okay.
So everybody decides to descend down to see.
Yeah. Didn't realize you were here. Be right down.
So on the way down, when you get down to Vic's apartment, Threnody and Raul are actually standing out in front of it. Raul is dressed very simply and very unlike him.
Okay.
He is wearing a pair of kind of heather gray slacks with a white button up that is not button up.
When did he turn into a finance bro at a wedding?
He's got
golf bro.
He's got matching loafers, a very very a matching belt. He looks very
wealthy and preppy.
I was going to say, for lack of a better term, very civilized. He certainly does not look like his typical Bruja self. No leather jacket, no combat boots, no cargo pants.
Yeah, he looks like a finance bro at a summer wedding.
And
we are all very appalled by the palette.
He is also this makeover also extends to
No, not his hair.
His hair. His head is completely and perfectly shaved very, very recently. His goatee is extraordinarily well kept. He doesn't have any sort of. He's not wearing any jewelry. He's not wearing any sort of any accoutrement. He looks.
Ideally normcore.
Yeah, he looks like a complete blank slate.
Like a catalog model.
Do we know anybody with this particular style?
Can I do a awareness check, or what is it? Not awareness. It's
Sense the insane?
not sense the insane. Anything in my not it. God damn it. Okay, like in my insight or streetwise.
I just want to say that this is hysterical because I have all of your pages, like all of your character sheets open, so I can see when people moving through the page, and most of you, the pages are starting to move independently.
Like, what can we do?
You could theoretically,
With like my insight and my streetwise, would this hit any familiarities or tingle any senses?
Well,
okay.
we have somebody in our group that can wipe memories.
I was about to ask meta question, but because I have that ability, can I tell if someone has been recently mind wiped by another vamp?
There's no real way to be able to tell, like there's not like a thumbprint for it or something like that. It's obvious because of the symptoms.
Exactly. And like I feel like he might have been remade in somebody's image, so that's what I was like kind of like trying to feel out.
I mean, when you're listening to him talk to Threnody, his vocal patterns are the same. He seems the personality wise is the same. He doesn't seem like he is a different person, just that he is dressed in clothes that are, shall we say, unbecoming of him.
But he himself would be freaking out at these clothes.
He doesn't seem thrilled about
it. Like originally though, like he himself before this moment would have been anti this shit all the way.
He doesn't seem thrilled about it, but he also doesn't seem particularly perturbed about it either.
So like this whole thing where he like shows up and doesn't know has been like freshened up, cleaned, and like normalized and sent back as a Bruja. Am I getting Camarilla vibes? Am I getting
no way to know.
Any plan or anything?
The only indication that you have is that you knew his last known whereabouts. Theoretical last known whereabouts.
Theoretical.
He was taken off the board, but not killed. That's what kind of looks like that. Unless somebody has some sort of restore memory power.
That's what we're reading on. Alice, can you do anything?
Not in restoring.
All right. So, do you want, Vic? Do you want to go talk to our Tremere since you have such a good rapport with them?
Yeah, I can go talk to them.
See if they can help.
Sure.
So, Vic, when you head up, how do you?
I skip.
Not gonna saunter. You're gonna skip. Okay. That's going to be a negative. So when you get up there, how are you approaching this?
I knock on the door first, see who answers the door.
when you knock on the door, there is a delay, and Jean-Baptiste answers. He looks a little tired, perhaps, maybe a little worn, like he's been working on something. But when he opens the door and sees you, he does give you a smile and says, "Ah, to what do I owe the pleasure on this night?"
I just thought I'd let you know. We knew of 2 people that were still missing, Raul and your girl. Raul just got dropped off by a taxi, so he's downstairs. Only problem is it looks like his mind has been blanked. He doesn't remember anything since he disappeared. But I don't know if his disappearance is at all related to your girls, but I thought I'd let you know and let you know, at least the situation in which he's come back in.
He says, "You believe that this is related to Adelaide missing?"
I don't know. They both went missing the same night.
Curious.
Meta, were they in the same place, or did they just go missing at the same night?
Yeah, completely
Same
different.
night.
Same night, different places though.
Different.
But
places.
like out of the club, out of.
She went out hunting. She went out hunting for blood and never came back.
And he was with us and never came back.
Raul was with Threnody.
Okay.
He disappeared before we showed up to rescue Threnody and her crew.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So Raul disappeared the night that Threnody got attacked, and she disappeared the same night when she went out to hunt. Thank you.
Yeah. Alice,
I love you guys. Thank you for dealing with my shit memory.
15 seconds. Yep. We will have another quick ad break, 1.5 minutes. And so we will pause and we'll see you guys on the other side. Be right back.
You need outro music.
Right. I've thought about queuing up Pretzel, but then I'd have to like have it set as like a third audio source in order to fade in, fade out. And or I could do it in the app, but their volume thing is like this big. So it's like you're either not very loud or way too loud. So I kind of put that on the back burner, like, we'll think about that later. Like, I've got a good friend, another streamer named Persephone. She's been working on my graphics for me.
Yay,
so if you
my
guys...
favorite goth queen. Is she a goth queen too?
I don't know if she's very gothy, but we have a lot of the geek stuff in common, so I'm sure there's...
I'm making Greek myth jokes.
Of course. But
because I love the Hades
if you guys
and Persephone like myth.
On PC, and you scroll down, it will you'll see I have some new banners, like yellow and orange. They're gorgeous. She designed those for me. Also my offline screen that pops up the banner. Amazing, and I love the theme we're working with. And we're also currently working on emotes, so I'll hopefully have some custom emotes soon.
Nice.
3,
so I do have to
2,
ask though. You guys see me yet or not?
Yeah.
Yep, still see you.
I don't.
You can see me.
We all can see you.
I can't, but that's fine.
Oh, but like I'm on actual camera right now. Okay.
It's okay. If
now
everyone else can see her, that's fine.
Now you're done.
No. I was under the impression that I was invisible to everybody.
Nope.
The stream.
You're good now.
Got a little nonchalant on my end.
So, what are we gonna do?
So, Vic, what are you going to pick back up on where we were? What are you going to say to Jean-Baptiste? What is your intention? What are you attempting to get him to do or communicate to him or?
I'm just trying to say, like, first of all, let him know that, one of the two came back that disappeared on the same night. So if they're related, hopefully she'll show up too. But also the circumstances in which Raul came back, has left him with an absence of a big chunk of memory, and didn't know if they know any method of trying to recover memory.
Jean-Baptiste frowns and he goes, he immediately closes the door behind him and he says, "Take me to him."
Oh, yes.
So do you go?
Yeah, I'll take him down.
So Jean-Baptiste meets up with all of you. So while Vic has gone off to talk to the Tremere, Jean-Baptiste, what are the rest of you guys doing with Raul and Threnody? Are you kind of poking and prodding him? Are you trying to figure out if he's okay or not? Are you making fun of his fucking chinos? What are you doing?
Well, me being a smartass and being the that I am, the Toreador that I am, will literally feel very happy about the improvement of his style and presentation, because he got prettier.
He kind of looks
He
down.
cleaned up nice.
He looks down. He's kind of like, I guess.
I'm like, no, not the fucking yuppie wear. The jawline and the cut, it suits you.
He's like, I mean, sure, it'll be back tomorrow. He's like, it's the same for all of us, right? We get stuck with the fucking haircut that we've been dealing with for eternity. It's like the worst thing in the world.
It doesn't have to be.
For what it's
You
worth,
don't
I
have to
think you
have it
wear
all
it
the
well,
time.
but
I'm just saying, it was nice to see the bone structure beneath it all.
Threnody is being very quiet. She is definitely eyeing him with some amount of
Suspicion.
Yeah. Jean-Baptiste arrives with Vic. And after a quick back and forth, Raul, we were under siege. I know that there were a bunch of shovelheads. Was trying to figure out a way to handle the situation and go get help, maybe do something about it myself. He says, the last thing I remember is walking out the double doors.
Interesting.
He says, that's the very last thing that I remember. He said, and then tonight I woke up. I was already sitting in the cab, drove. He said, I could not even tell you where I was driven from. He was like, it wasn't any place that I was particularly familiar with.
and you don't remember anything about the cab number,
Do you know if you were going north or south on 95? Did you get on the highway at all, the expressway?
He goes, no.
Did you see the stadium? What'd you do? Did you see the park? Old Town?
He
What was out of the window?
He kind of squints and he's like, I remember. He's like, I remember seeing the park, but it wasn't on the side of the road that it usually is.
It wasn't on the side of the road that it usually is?
No, it was on a different. Usually, the way that we were going. He goes, it's hard to explain. It was also a different part of the park. We don't usually drive through it very much or go by it.
Okay. That helps.
Jean-Baptiste says, I do not think that I can restore your mind, but we can certainly delve into the information that is there if you are interested. Like, hell yeah, we're interested. And Jean-Baptiste and Raoul is like, that's a no.
And I say we're almost desperately in need of that information. All of us might be depending on it.
He's like, look, I'll do, and he looks at her, he goes, I'll do anything for the cause. You know that. He says, but, and he turns back to Jean-Baptiste, he's like, no offense. I'm not letting some fucking warlock take my blood or cast some fucking voodoo on me. He goes, I am not cool with that.
I'm sure Jean-Baptiste is not going to require any of that.
Jean-Baptiste says, I need a pint of his blood.
Yeah. So, Raul, do you feel hungry right now?
He thinks about it for a second, and he goes, no more than normal.
So I kind of wondered if maybe
what is your feeding type?
Raul's like, my feeding type?
Yeah.
He goes, I mean, I'm not trying to be like a white knight or anything, but it's, you go find some creep in an alley who's trying to, mug down on homeless people or trying to, jump out and
Criminal.
grab some something off the street, like they think that they've got something. And he goes, sometimes there's just bigger monsters out there.
Well, if you help with this, you'll definitely find some bigger monsters. And I'll help with that.
He's kind of like, but that doesn't fix my problem. Like he looks at John, he says, like, again, no offense.
Tell me, what is the problem? Because whatever has happened. Might have been much worse than this. And this, I understand, is a sacrifice, especially feeling your hesitancy towards it.
It is about this time period when Samuel and Eugene and Marie show up.
Marie's the one that was missing?
No, Marie's the one that's the time bomb, the nuke.
Mm-hmm.
When they show up, Raoul he kind of gets on the defensive. He's like, look, he's like, no means no. He's like, and don't think just because you've got 4 of you now that it's going to change that answer.
No.
Like Jean-Baptiste is like, is watching this all very carefully. Like, he's not attempting to rebut. He's just studying this.
Just quiet. I'm going to turn to the other Tremere and I'm going to be like, would it be possible if you guys exited into the hallway?
Are
we in the hallway?
Yeah, we are in the hallway.
No.
Vix.
I thought we were in Vic's apartment with Serenity.
Outside in the hallway.
Okay, then I'm going to ask them to, if they wouldn't mind to actually give some space.
They seem
if you would like go inside and talk to Serenity.
They seem very confused. Jean-Baptiste beckons to Serenity and is like a word. And the 4 Tremere, along with Serenity, kind of walk off and walk away, leaving the 4 of you with Raoul.
So I'm gonna be all like, yeah. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be like, so I'm sorry. I really want to listen to what you have to say. If you're still willing to tell me, I'm sorry it was so rudely interrupted.
He's like, I mean, there's not a whole lot really to say. He's like, he's like, I know it's weird, and I know that it's hard to believe that I don't remember.
That
He's
no,
like,
no. I mean,
but it's just like he's like, way back in the day, he's like, I mean, I've had some benders where I might have forgotten a night. He's like, I've definitely been there before. He's like, this is kind of like that, except it's a couple days. And he's like, and you know what? I've done some festivals. I've done some things where I may have lost a weekend or two, but this feels like that was things are hazy. Maybe things happened. Maybe you and some other dude and a girl all hooked up together, and you don't know. And but this isn't like that. He's like, this is just. He's like, I remember walking out that door. He's like, and the next thing I remember is being in a cab. He's like, it's almost like those two things were the things that
one
happened.
right after the other.
Yeah, he's like, except that I know that there's been a time change. He's like, I know that there's been that I've been moved. He's like, it's disorienting as shit.
So you remember walking out of the double doors of the building that was being assaulted by the shovelheads?
He goes, I remember they broke in and it was he looks at you, it was weird. Like normally he's like he goes, I've put boot to ass with shovel heads before in my life. He goes, it's what we do. He goes, these guys it was just also fucking pointless. I understand that whole oh, chaos, anarchy, what the fuck ever. He goes, but like this, like he was like, we caught one of these guys when I was walking out. He's like, dude, just fucking like fucking up a bathroom sink. Gives a shit. It's some fucking
Very Clockwork Orange.
some fucking guy. Was just he wasn't killing a kind. He wasn't doing anything like that. He was just fucking up a bathroom sink. Why? I guess why not? The entire thing just felt random. Like they were just destroying shit to destroy shit. Like
That's that's an assault tactic.
he goes, I guess, but that shit doesn't work on us. Like if it was nothing but a bunch of humans in the building and they were just trying to drive them out or something like that, cool, I get it. He goes, but they made their intentions pretty clear that they were there for Threnody, right? So why, if you were there just to fuck her up, why go to the effort to do the rest of it?
And
it doesn't make any sense to me.
So that's where your blank space might have some answer. Because like those fuzzy nights, you have no idea what anybody might have been able to get you to do. You have no idea.
So you're going to tell him, and you're trying to convince him to.
I'm basically like, I'm just gonna be like, listen, I know it's fucking scary. I know it's really scary to like, because anything could have happened. There's no realm of reality with right now. Like anything could have happened and it could be so antithesis to who you are that it's really fucking scary to even try and find out. I know this.
He's kind of like, I don't give two shits about that. He's like, I've done fucked up things. He's like, look, I'm okay with the fact that I'm a monster. He's like, I've killed people by accident before. I get it. I've done it. It sucks. It's on my conscience. He said, I'm all fine with that. He's like, but those motherfuckers in there, that's the kind of shit that, that my grandma used to warn me about when I was just a little Hugo. Idaho, you're calling. Are you being discreet about calling Sunny, or are you?
I'm just in the middle of this conversation. I'm kind of stepping to the side a little bit and calling her.
Okay. She picks up pretty quickly.
Say, Sunny, you had one of your, or Gigi told us you had one of your people outside Trinity's building when it was assaulted that was monitoring what was going on.
She is, yeah.
We got Raul, who you told me about. He showed back up here. Free info for you. And
she goes, wait. Hold on. She goes, thanks for the info. She goes, so you're telling me that a known Anarch lieutenant who was last seen canoodling at a known Camarilla, being taken to a known Camarilla establishment, and then he just shows up, like, she's kind of like, what am I missing here? Because none of this, something doesn't make sense.
You're right, it doesn't. So he apparently has no recollection of what happened when he left the building. And it would be interesting if your person that was outside saw what happened to him when he left the building.
She says,
There's tape, isn't there?
She says, give me a couple minutes. Let me go see if I can find the guy who was outside and see if he's got pictures, if he's got video, if he's got whatever. Okay, or if he can just tell me.
Overhearing slightly your conversation with Sunny, I'm reminded that he was. Go for it. Sorry, let me finish. You're gonna finish.
We're done. She said she was going to get her stuff and come back.
Okay, so overhearing your conversation with Sunny, I remember that, and I'm gonna be like, we know that you were with the Cam in Cam territory and company.
He, after thinking about it for a second, he's like, I mean, I guess that makes sense. That was the right side, would be the right side of the road.
But jovially, comfortably laughing with the Cam.
Were we told that?
No, but if Michael wants to lie, that's
okay.
No, I'm not trying to lie. I'm being no. I'm trying to just illustrate how we don't know if we don't know if he is, if we have a weakness or not, because he was basically kidnapped and mentally fucked with.
Vic, Alice, what are you doing right now?
I'm wondering if I'm of any use here, and honestly, Raul's kind of pissing me off at this whole big baby attitude he's got towards just letting us do this, and he's going off about the greater good, but it's like, yeah, but so I'm getting aggravated.
He's not vaccinated.
I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what?
He's not a vaccine. He's not a vaccine.
You know, Michael, at this point, if I can't be of any other usage, I think I'll go check on Robin and Ruby.
Yeah, go check on Robin and see what you can snoop out.
Yeah, I don't fucking see a point.
Take care of our peoples.
Being here.
Take care of our peoples.
Okay, so Al, you're going to head off to go check on Robin and Ruby. Vic, what are you doing?
I'm hungry. Anyone else?
No, like, yeah. I'm gonna continue my work on him in a certain way, but
okay. So Vic, what are you going to? Are you going to go hunt? Are you just kind of wander off? Are you gonna say anything to Raul? What are you gonna do?
No, I'm saying I'm hungry. I'm gonna go hunt. Raul, do you need a feed? Do you?
He goes, no. He goes, I'm not. I know I should. He goes again. He goes, this is part of the weirdness of this. He goes, I know I should be hungry. He goes, I know time has passed. He goes, but he goes, wherever I went, he goes, they at least fed me. Idaho, what are you doing?
I'm waiting.
Just waiting on
Sunny.
All right. So I'm gonna turn around and say I was like, look, I know, like I'm picking up that you have huge mistrust for the premiere, and this kind of stuff is antithesis, like to what you've been taught. But right now, Ukraine's completely united against Russia. Switzerland's come out of neutrality. Germany's actually done action. And
Raoul's like, wait, hold on. What the fuck are you talking about?
oh yeah, you've missed World War III. We started that shit.
He's like,
Russia tried to take over Ukraine, and like Ukraine's just handing them their ass. It's been gorgeous.
He's like, cool. He goes, I think I would have wished that I could have woken up on the other side of this thing.
There's still plenty.
He goes,
other side that you're on.
He goes,
and that's the whole point, man.
He says, look, I understand what you're saying. He goes, but those fucking witches and warlocks up there, the things that they can do once they've got your blood, he goes, any of your blood. He goes, you don't even know. He's like, they can track you forever. He's like, they can find out exactly where they are. They can make sure that you can't go anywhere near them. He's like, hell no, I'm not giving them my fucking blood. He goes, what if I have to kill one of them later?
What if I'm the only one who has control over it?
He goes,
what if that worked?
He goes, if you can
Would you
figure out.
trust me?
He goes, I mean, I guess, but he goes, I don't know how you're gonna figure out a way to do that.
Well, let me go see what this whole thing entails. In the meantime, go enjoy the internet and figure out why everybody in the world has a little bit of a crush on the Ukrainian president forevermore.
He kind of straightens his shirt and he goes, because they ain't seen me.
I mean, you might have a little crush on him too. Go catch up on world events, and I'll find you in a bit.
So, at about this time period, it's about time for our bio break. So, let's come back at 10 after.
What time do you guys have right now?
It is 7:57, so we're going to come back at 8:10.
Yeah, we'll have an ad that'll start in 4 minutes anyway. So while we're on break, guys, there will be a quick ad break. I made them pretty short, so sorry, but necessary evil. So we will be right back. Bear with us.
I am here, but not seen.
We're coming back. Everybody drops off.
Right. We're back, everybody. Thanks for waiting for us over the bio break. Thanks for joining us on the playground. I'm Pixie Phoenix. I'm a variety streamer here on Twitch. And tonight we're doing our live action role playing session of Vampire the Masquerade Philly by Night. I think this is session 48.
It is indeed.
And I'm joined tonight by Knox, our storyteller, Skot, who plays Idaho, Zack plays Victor, Martha playing Michael, and I'm your Alice. And we are back trying to figure out what the hell we're going to do.
So, Alice, when you head to the beacon, where do you head first? Do you head straight for Robin, or do you bypass Robin and go to see Ruby?
Whichever one's first. I thought Ruby was on the first floor and Robin was upstairs.
Right, but you come in on the second.
Oh, yeah. That's right. We have the new place. Da. Yeah, whoever's closest. So I guess that'd be Robin first.
So when you get to the bar, she seems a little exuberant. She's working very quickly, maybe even slightly quicker than she really should be.
Almost impossibly quickly. Almost. Uncanny.
Yeah, I'll ask her how her night's going. Oh, go ahead.
When she sees you, her face lights up, and she gives you an excited wave and squeeze, and is like, "This feels amazing." She's like, "This almost makes up for the the weirdness."
Carnage.
Well,
she's like, "Are there a lot of you? Do you do this a lot? Like, is there like a meetup? Is this like a category on FetLife that people like go on there?"
No. We are what is called a coterie. A family of misfits, if you will.
She goes, "Oh."
You've met most of us already.
She's like, "Okay."
And those of us that are not fully turned, our ghouls are familiars.
She's like, "Oh."
They kind of simplify it a lot to kind of take care of our daytime errands, the day-to-day, literally.
She's like, "I could do that." She's like, "Why doesn't everybody do this? This is amazing."
We are hoping to add to our numbers, but we are picky.
She goes, "Oh, that's probably why."
Yeah. How has your evening been going?
She goes, "Good. The asshole who was spilling his whiskey all over my fucking bar is gone. Thank God." She's like, it's really good. She kind of like takes you by the arm and kind of shuffles you a little bit away from everybody at the bar, and she's like, "So how long do I have to wait till I get some more?"
Would she be hungry that fast?
I don't know if she's necessarily hungry. She just enjoys drinking.
Yeah, that's not a hunger thing.
It's just
okay.
The act of drinking itself is
This is just like, holy shit, Vitae, oh my god, this is like the best thing. It's like
Yeah.
Adderall and like a dash of wine.
I was gonna say, think about how pleasurable that is to drinking Vampire Vitae is, and how tempting that is to you guys. To a human who does not have the same needs as you guys, it's basically all upside, no downside.
Yeah.
Other than, the obvious downsides of addiction,
having to
Right.
drink
blood
blood and
bonding, potentially
and
eventually
addiction.
becoming a vampire. But other than those downsides, other than the death part,
Yeah, meta just a little.
I mean, let's be real. It's not like, death is avoidable for anyone.
Did
Even
we
vampires give
make a
in.
definitive decision though on Robin?
Oh yeah.
She's a cool.
Yeah, she made the decision. She said she at the very end of last session,
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was just the
Oh, yeah.
one-time dose and
No,
she
was enthusiastic consent. She
Okay,
was like,
that's
I'm
what I
in.
thought. Okay. I was just I mean, at this point with our ghouls, we've just it's on a need to feed basis, right?
So you would know from your experiences with Lane that Lane basically needs to be re-upped no less than basically once a month. You two have a standing kind of dinner date.
Right.
You also know from being around Michael for so long that like Moira, like that's like what you and Lane have, like that's treated almost kind of as a fun thing. Like with Michael and Moira, like that's treated like a doctor's appointment. That's because if he doesn't give her that blood, it starts to go south quick.
Gotcha. And that's because of her age, right?
Because her human age is probably in her 80s or 90s, but she looks like she's in maybe her mid to late 30s.
Okay. I think I would just
one real quick, but and here's kind of the meta discussion, kind of in the same vein that you mentioned. Feeding a ghoul blood has, aside from from being pleasurable for them and tasting great, will also, in the event that they're hurt, will heal them. Idaho has firsthand experience with having had to do that. Prevent sickness. And again, it's a blood bonding thing. So the more blood that they are given, the more loyal they will end up being. That can have downsides, BT dubs.
Right. So I think I would just explain, for right now, Lane and I have a once a month standing Netflix and chill night, if you will. And I think at this stage that should be sufficient for you.
When you say Netflix and chill, like her eyes get like big. She's like you guys make sex in this? She's like, oh my god, that is
No.
Oh.
You remember that feeling?
Wait. Not all. Sometimes.
But I'm being specific to our situation. I don't want to give her any hope that that's part of the equation. I would just reference back to that feeling of ecstasy, and as
wait, I thought I ghouled her. Did I ghoul her? Or I did. Yeah.
She's Michael's ghoul. So any feeding
anybody can continue feeding her. But like, yeah. Like, I mean, you can't speak about Michael with sex. Because
right, that's why I said from me. And said, no, not in this equation. But that, I'll throw the contingency that upon Michael's approval, a once a month appointment should be fine.
She's like, oh.
Now, what Michael might have in store beyond that is between you two. But as far as my relationship with Lane, that is how we handle things.
She goes, oh, okay. She goes, that's cool. That's awesome. She goes, she goes, I don't really know what else I should be doing for you guys. Should I be talking to Lane about that, or?
I would say checking in with Michael first thing in the evening, and
Moira.
and Moira as far as the day-to-day again with who's going to handle what in the club, what errands might need to be run. Moira, we kind of leave as the head honcho.
She's like, I can do that. I can absolutely do that.
And you will be a big asset around here.
She's like,
I love this enthusiasm.
She's like, thank you so much. And then she goes back to bartending.
I head down to Ruby and Lane.
Lane is knee deep in the dead. She and Rhea are busting ass, so she can't do more than kind of shoot you the nod and hey, what's up. Ruby's bar, they are busy, but the group of the Thin Bloods are back. Slade is there, Teddy is there, librarian. They are all kind of huddling at the end of the bar, doing their usual thing.
How dare they? They are of shovelheads. They are of the others. They are of the other anarchs.
I very discreetly snap a photo and send it to everybody. Just say, yeah, the usuals are back.
Slade sees you and shoots you deuces.
Boy wants to be famous.
He is dressed tonight in what looks like a recreation of Chris Tucker's outfit from The Fifth Element.
Awesome. So awesome.
But still has the
Tell me it has the collar.
The giant. No, he doesn't have the collar, but he's got all of his like Mr. T chains, like in full view,
nice.
Including perhaps maybe a little on the nose, a pair of. Have you ever seen those candy vampire lips?
Mm-hmm.
You like bite down on. They always taste like plastic shit. He has a version of that hanging off a chain.
Candle wax. It's always candle wax.
That's what it tastes like, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
That is it's on a chain with blinged out, completely gold lips, with the teeth are all in diamonds.
Oh my God, he's the best.
He reminds me a lot of my friend from high school.
He probably knew your friend from high school.
He was a redhead too.
Ruby, when she sees you, hops up on the bar and with a big squee blows you a kiss and throws her arms around you.
Baby!
Right. No, ask her how her evening's going.
She kind of, as she comes down on the other side of the bar, she kind of walks you, has her arms around you, kind of walks you away from the Thin Bloods at the end. And she goes, it's good. She's like, we're making great money tonight.
What?
She's like, don't get me wrong. I like them a lot. Like, they seem like they're really cool and they're like me. She's like, but I agreed to go check out this thing, and I kind of feel I don't want to back out. I'm just. She goes, like, my mom used to be into Amway. That's starting to feel how it's starting to feel.
Wouldn't it be easier if I told you not to go?
She goes, no. She goes, I said I would go. She said, I'm going to go and check this place out since it's a place just for people like me. She goes, but she goes, I don't. She says,
Get her to wear a wire.
She goes, with everything that's going on, she goes, it just feels like it's like maybe it's not the time. I don't know.
I certainly don't think so. But if you're absolutely set on going, there will be some caveats.
She goes, I'm going to try to get them to delay on this. She goes, I'm not. She goes, She goes, there's just too much going on right now.
Yeah, there really is.
She gives you a kiss on the end of the nose. She goes, I don't know where they went. She goes, I think they actually left. She goes, they closed their tab. She goes, but your friends, the ones who are always wearing the jumpsuits, they always smell like BO.
Russians?
She goes, they
Septa.
were here. They said they had some more photos that they thought you might want to see or something, but she goes, I don't. She says, I don't. They wouldn't give them to me, so.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'll bring that up with Michael. Yeah, just keep me in the know about what your friends end up wanting to do. And you certainly don't go anywhere without saying goodbye to me in person first. Agreed?
She goes, of course not.
Okay.
Promise. Swear.
Idaho, your phone rings. It's Sunny.
Okay. Hello.
When you pick up, Sunny goes, she says, she doesn't even greet you. She goes, big guy, muscular, looks like he's probably about 6'4", 6'5", dressed in kind of gangland rocker chic. She goes, is that who we're talking about?
Yep.
She goes, so here's the fun part. She says, he walked out and got into an immediate brawl with what looks like a bunch of shovelheads. Looks like he was doing okay. Says, but there were 3 kindred who were on the side who there's some muttering behind. Goes, we think they might have been plants.
What do you mean?
She said they came out and they jumped him and they handled him pretty hard.
They knew who they were looking for.
And after he was done with the shovelheads, and then they hauled him off, and then they threw him into the back of a bland every sedan.
They let the shovelhead soften them up for them.
He goes, so your boy was there. He was doing work, but she says, but 3-on-1 against dedicated, she goes, shovelheads are one thing, whatever. She goes, I wouldn't do it. She goes, I don't fight. But she goes, but somebody his size shouldn't have been a problem. She goes, but 3-on-1 of just plain kindred of somebody who's been around the block for even a couple months. She's like, that's some pain.
Right. So, did your guy say if any of those three people came back after they put him in the car?
She suddenly goes, "Well, here's the interesting thing about that. Those three drove off, took your boy, and then those same three people showed up later."
Mm-hmm.
Those were the people who threw the spear
They,
into Slendy's hip.
were they? Anyway, you're not there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry. Thinking out loud. I'm going to mute myself.
yeah, I think they chased us off when we were making our getaway.
She goes, "Yeah, but," he goes, "My friend, who would like to not be named, watched the entire thing and said those are not the same people who jumped your friend."
They're not the same people who attacked Threnody?
She goes, "No, she goes, it's," she seems like she's struggling. She goes, "The three who jumped your big friend they look the same." She said, "But the three who jumped your friend and drove off, even though they look the same, are not the three who were there who attacked you guys later."
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
She goes, "So," she says, I've heard of kindred who have the ability to make themselves look like other people." She says, "But I haven't heard of kindred who have that ability to mask others to look like somebody else." She said, "Unless," and you hear kind of a kind of gagging noise. She goes, "Unless like they were physically molded to look like that, in which case I feel so sorry for whoever those three were."
Yeah, this is way over my pay grade. So basically, nobody recognizes these people.
Molded.
She goes, "No." She goes, I don't know, and the car didn't have plates."
Gotcha. All right. Well, I really appreciate that information. I'm going to pass it on. We'll see what we can do with it.
She says, "I don't know how," she goes, "I hope that helps." She goes, she goes, "Normally, I would trade you for this kind of stuff, but," she goes, she goes, "At this point, I just want to find out what the fuck is going on, because,
Yeah.
watching," she goes, "it's a little bit like, given what he's told me and the photos that he's showing me, he's like, it's like watching people exit stage left and enter stage right in the same moment."
Yeah. Well, we'll see what we can figure out.
She goes, "Let me know if I can do anything else."
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Vampire the Masquerade, Truman Show edition.
So, Idaho, what are you going to do now?
Well, I'm going to share that information with Michael, and then I'm going to assume that my experience is not enough to answer the question. So I will ask the question of someone more experienced and say, are we aware when we've been blood bonded?
That answer is yes, kind of. If it's been done forcibly, if somebody has been enslaved forcibly with a blood bond, then yeah, obviously they know, because they can't act against that person.
But if someone, and this is not an entirely meta question. This is something that Idaho would have wanted to ask Michael, and I'm assuming, is it okay to assume that he's getting an answer kind of like what you're saying, just because Martha doesn't know the answer to it?
Correct.
Is that cool? Okay. What if a vampire was taken away and blood bonded and then memory wiped?
So the issue is that blood bonds only last for so long. So if you're going to blood bond somebody and then wipe their memory, then you're running into the issue of either you're going to have to recapture them and continue to do this, which seems like a lot of work.
What about that power that's used by my favorite clan, that dominate, that the Ventrue use? Could it have done something like this to Raoul?
Michael, roll your intelligence and occult.
What discipline do you use?
Should I?
You're not there.
I know.
I'm just wondering what discipline. Is it Auspex that you use to do that?
To do what?
To erase people's minds and stuff like that.
Well, with Al, it's Demontate. That's the Malkavian thing. But with okay. But Idaho's asking about Dominate, which is a Ventrue thing. I'm assuming Idaho would have picked up on that much knowledge by now to know that the Ventrue like to wield that one around.
Oh yeah. Three and one for you, Michael.
Dominate. Okay.
In the Venn diagram of vampire disciplines, they have some overlapping, I believe. But they are different disciplines.
Can roll 20 the minute.
What's my roll? How many dice do I have? Nah, fuck this. I'm leaving.
Yeah, right.
Dude,
I'm done.
I have shitty fatty fingers, so give me 1 second. I have to. Okay, come on. Ace. Come on. Okay, what's the roll script?
31.
3 and 1.
No. Like R, the whole thing.
Oh,
Oh, never mind. Got it. Okay, so 3 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, work with me, please. And go.
Oh,
nice.
Very nice.
So, you would know instantly that there are a variety of different skills, particularly that the Ventrue can do, but it's not solely the purview of the Ventrue in terms of dominating somebody. The ability to you can mesmerize them, you can make them forget, you can make them rationalize things. And at the highest end, extremely powerful users of dominate can even make people submit their mortality and be willing to, fall on the sword for their, for the person who's demanding it.
Well, none of that sounds like implanting a ticking time bomb unless Raoul is just completely lying to us.
He might not even know he's lying to us.
Well,
he might not be able to tell us the truth.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is there even such a power that vampire had that they could turn somebody into a double agent without them knowing it?
So there's a couple different things that you could that would match similarly to that. Submerge directive. When using mesmerize, the vampire can now implant a post-hypnotic suggestion, allowing the command to remain dormant until a specific stimulus occurs.
I think I have
that. I was getting super Manchurian Candidate vibes off of this shit.
It's less even than the Manchurian Candidate, and more, to use a more recent example, would be the Winter Soldier, where when a certain number of words were said in a certain order, it was enough to basically put him at a command line. You could do that. You could, and there's any number of different things
that was on American Dad too.
That could happen. The other things that are potential there is rationalize. The vampire's victims now believe that anything they do under the influence of dominate was a result of their own free will and will defend their actions, however absurd. Long-term exposure to this power can lead to severe mental trauma in the victim.
So like super gaslighting.
Yeah, it's basically not, now you're not even just tampering with their memories, you're actually tampering with their willpower and the way that their brain functions.
And so these are
sounds like a couple extras, I know.
Worth mentioning, worth mentioning is that prolonged usage of any of these type of abilities that mess with people's heads. On Kindred, eventually, most times they come back and will regain their faculties completely. But on Kind, particularly, doing this kind of stuff is akin to mental torture. Over a prolonged enough period, you are doing brain damage to them, and depending on how you're doing it, it is enough to incur stains.
All right. So these are things that can be done by someone who possesses the ability of dominate. Is that what I'm hearing? And
Yes.
Dominate is one of the hallmark powers of the Ventru, who are our lovely friends in Amarillo.
Malkavian as well.
Yeah.
No, but we already know he was in the hands of the cam for sure.
So is this the kind of thing that if you are, I mean, do you know if you're on the receiving end of this, do you know it?
If we're getting into kind of the meta weeds here.
Right. And so in other words,
well, it's a really interesting skill. So it's like, what is really like?
So what you're asking is, could theoretically somebody do something like, say, a submerge directive and tell them to do something at a certain time and then wipe their brain and be
right?
like,
I'm trying to guess what the situation is that's led to Raul, but I'm wanting it to be like Idaho is asking of Michael. So if you don't think Michael would know, then don't give me the answer. I'm not looking for the answer meta.
No, Michael would probably be able to theorize as much. Michael, in the time period that Michael's been alive, Michael's probably run into, 2-3 dozen Ventru of varying, abilities. Some of them, and some Ventru are like, there's a particularly famous Ventru who is out on the West Coast, whose name is Victor Temple. He is known for using his ability to dominate very, very sparingly and very in many kind of as a kindness, or to mask his to mask things that are going on. Courier comes and sees him, and gives him the message, and he goes, "Fantastic! Now, I need you to forget all about this conversation," and then sends them on their way, and they have no idea that they've ever even talked to him. There have been other Ventru out there who have been much more abusive in their use of these abilities, and even predatory.
I mean, obviously, like this is such a power trip given to a vampire, which, like, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, at the highest end, particularly with Terminal Decree, you're starting to run into the Purple Man territory here. That's starting to be able to literally tell somebody, turn the blender on, now stick your hand in it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also going to share with Michael the things that Penny said about those 3 people, and that they could have been vampires that were putting on some sort of a visage of something else, and all this weirdness that kind of correlates with this story, and see if there's any way to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Michael, make the same roll again.
Yeah, with 4 successes.
Right, I hope.
So you can just reroll.
Can I reroll too?
If you would like to spend a willpower.
Yes. Carvin, you're gonna have to wait. How many? It's just 2 white.
Just 2 white.
And here we go. Ah, fuck.
So when Michael talks to you about this, Idaho, it sounds most of the language that comes out is very similar to the kind of stuff that Sunny was talking about. Not a lot of finite details, a lot of kind of, well, maybe this could be it, or but not enough to really go on.
Okay. Well, we've still got a guy in here, a really powerful vampire that was taken away and not killed. And that seems kind of suspicious, unfortunately. As much as I like the guy, that does seem suspicious.
Vic, you decided to run off and go hunt. So make your roll 6, 3 and 3.
I know. You're gonna have to just wait. Well, now I need to find out exactly how.
What the hell?
I'll spend a
We better not have another 2 night. I know you guys remember the 2 night.
So, okay, so you burned
That was
willpower
such a
for
bad
that?
night.
Okay, so, Vic, you are... It takes you a minute. When you are heading out there, you are kind of having to wander off the beaten path. Most of the places that the homeless camps or places where where you can find, people in cars who have passed out. You're just not having any luck tonight. It is fucking frustrating. You are about to get to the point where you are about to turn around and head back to the club when,
Like you were throwing the towel in and just like sucked. Yeah.
you notice there is a guy he is stumbling drunk. It is exceptionally easy for you to make this into a pseudo mugging, pull him into to an alley real quick, rough him up, and and then sink your teeth in. How much do you drink down?
It's 2.
You're just gonna drink down the 2. Well, you are drinking. There is a distinctive feeling like you are being watched or observed. There is also a smell. It's a familiar smell. You don't remember where it is, but it makes your guts clench up when you smell it.
All right, I'll finish this dude up and I'll head back to the club.
So, what are you going to do with him?
I'm gonna call him a cab.
You're just gonna call a local cab company and leave
the cab company that we have our little deal with.
Okay.
Earn him some money on the side. There you go. Take this guy home.
Make sure he gets home safe.
Yep.
Give him a snack on the way.
When cab comes, takes a couple minutes. It picks him up. as the cab pulls away from the curb, you look across the street and you see a smiling face. The eyes are a little too wide set. Mouth is a little too wide. The arms and legs are too thin on a barrel body. You would say that he looks like the human equivalent of a bullfrog.
Not him again.
But despite his ugly, ugly visage, his tweed suit is oddly well-fitting. He gives you a particularly nasty kind of grin and starts to walk towards an alley on the other side of the street.
Alrighty. I'll go up and report to Michael.
So you're heading back to the club?
Yeah.
Okay. So you return back to the club. Idaho, you've talked to Michael about what Sonny has. Al, what are you heading back to meet up with the group after talking with Ruby?
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point we can say that everybody has kind of reconvened around Raoul again. So what is your next step here?
I'll fill Michael in real quick on dude downstairs. Bullfrog looking, Jeremiah Bullfrog looking motherfucker.
And I realize it's the same guy with the hand and the rats, right?
Matches the same description.
Yeah. So at this point, I pull Serenity aside and I'm like, if we don't get him to submit to finding out what this is, we're about to have a trap set on us.
She looks at him. She goes, "Oh, I agree." She's like, "But I have a completely different way that I would handle this."
How would you do it?
She goes, "Sometimes the best way in every relationship is give everybody a little bit of space."
What if we don't have time for space?
She goes, "If he's not going to submit," she goes, "unless y'all are planning to try to force the situation, which is not going to probably help him or any of his psychoses."
Oh God, no, not at all.
She's like, then y'all are at a stalemate.
I feel like they've laid the perfect trap in our own home territory. Exploited our altruism, exploited our morals against us.
She goes, then if that's the case, Threnody puts her hands on your shoulders. She goes, if that's the case, and you think that this is a bomb, she goes, then the best situation is not to try to defuse it. Sometimes the best situation with a bomb is to just get out of the blast radius. She's like, unless you've got another idea, or you're willing to resort to force, he's obviously not given up on his stance. She goes, and I appreciate what she said, about trying to be, have some amount of control. She goes, but
I
if
know
you're,
everybody's different. The way they cope is different.
well, she goes, even if you can, even if you're willing to do that, they may not be willing to let you fuck with their shit. She's like, the answer here is to, treat him like he's sick. She goes, the kind, when people got COVID, she goes, stick them in a fucking hotel for 14 days or whatever. She goes, we can do the same thing here.
Are they having this conversation away from us, or are we all hearing this?
Everybody's hearing it. Raoul's standing there, kind of arms folded, like.
I mean, I don't think everybody's hearing it. I think I would have pulled her to the side for this and been like, "Hey."
Okay.
Like this was definitely pulled to the side before I started asking her about like, how do you want to handle your boy? I'm like, what do you think we should do? I think this is like a bomb.
Yeah, she's basically suggesting quarantine.
All right, let's put him in quarantine.
Okay, did we hear this conversation or not?
I'll say no. Michael said he pulled Trinity aside, so then no.
Okay.
All right, so I'll go back to the group and Raoul and be like, well then the best way to keep everybody safe is you're gonna enjoy yourself like a week or two vacation in the fanciest place in Philly, in a lovely suite on my dime.
Trinity smiles and pats you on the shoulder and goes, "It's okay. I can take care of my boy." She goes, she looks at him, she goes, "I'm gonna send you out of town." She goes, we're gonna send you up to the Apple to hang with Torque for a little bit.
I think that is a genuinely beautiful idea. I was waiting. I was wondering. That's why I was asking you. What do you want to do with your boy?
Can I go hang with Torque for a little bit?
Ixnay on the Adam Ambe.
Yes. Please send your largest, most muscular person away from the coterie. This will make planning for future sessions much more interesting. Idaho.
So basically, what's happened here is whether or not, and I'm kind of saying this in front of everybody, whether or not we know some suggestions have been planted into you, Raoul, you are an asset to our dwindling number of troops, and now we're having to send you away.
He's kind of like, I don't remember anything. He's like, if you guys want me on the front lines, he's like, I'm more than happy to stand next to my boy Vic here.
Right, but if somebody planted a suggestion in your brain during your time that you were gone to turn on us, that would happen.
Or stab your boy, Vic.
Unless, and I'm going to look
right in the heart.
Elder vampires and say, unless you guys know of something that would override it. Like if somebody put a little subliminal suggestion into Raoul, is there a way to override it? Is there a way to give him a compulsion that would be stronger than that?
Threadity's kind of shakes her head and she goes, given the constraint that we have of not having access to the Tremere, to know exactly what was, what the programming was that was fucked up.
What if he was blood bonded to you?
They both kind of look at one another, and Raoul is like, You mean what if Threnody and I blood bonded?
Okay, and again, I don't really know exactly what's going on here, so forgive me if this is not even in the realm of possibility. But let's imagine that some Ventru put a suggestion in your head, and that they were going to pop you with some sort of coded message, or something was going to happen that was going to cause you to turn on us, for example.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, if you were under the thrall of Threnody, and Threnody said, nope, that ain't gonna happen, that override.
Threnody shakes her head. She goes, if we're blood bonded, he's gonna do what I tell. He's gonna do what I tell him. But that's, she goes, that's like slavery. And she goes, on top of that, if there is some sort of weird hoodoo up in his head, she said he's gonna do what I tell him. But if she goes, okay, let's say that let's say you're correct, and they've put some control something in his head.
Yeah.
He's like, if he acts out, or there's something that goes on.
In a minute.
He's like, I don't know, if we don't know what it's going to happen ahead of time, she goes, we can't really prepare for it.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, and if she goes, if the command is something like, rip my head off, she goes, maybe I'm incapacitated and I can't tell him not to do that.
Okay.
So either he takes one for the team, or he's gotta be off the team.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it seems kind of strange, Raoul, that you were taken away and you had to have been under their power during the time you were absent, which means they could have easily just left you out in the sun. And for some reason, they didn't do that.
It does look suspicious.
Super sus.
They could have done it and not done any suggestions to him at all and been unable to kill him and just wanted us to make the conclusion of moving him off the board. But
right.
That's the risk
we
we
down
take.
one of our most strong fighters.
It'd be great to have you on our side for what's about to happen, and sending you out of town just, adds to our handicap.
Raoul's like, he's like, I get it. He's like, if there was some way you could tell me or that there's no chance in hell that those fucking witches and warlocks up there aren't going to do something weird with my blood, that I'm not going to be looking over my shoulder for the rest of my life. He's like, if you can give me some sort of guarantee on that, he goes, I'll consider it.
What about some collateral?
Well, what's the ritual that they do? If they're going to take we've seen them work before, and we've seen them use blood in rituals, and we have watched as the blood has been used up. So if they take a pint of blood out of you and they perform some ritual and the blood gets used up and the ritual is done, then what else could they do that you don't like?
He's like, man, I don't know. He's like, I don't know enough about the stuff that they do. I just know what they can do because I've heard stories.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't either. I'm just trying to think logically here because, frankly, I wouldn't want them in control of my blood either. But if I knew they were going to be using up every last drop of the blood they took from me to do this thing, and then the thing is over and they don't have any more of my blood, then I would do it.
He's like, well, if you can guarantee that, he's like, and I mean guarantee that, then he goes, then I would be willing to entertain the thought. He kind of folds his arms and looks like a sullen child.
Yeah. Hey, well, then I guess maybe we need to have more conversation between the Baron and Threnody and Jean-Baptiste. and yourself to see if there's any way this can happen.
He's like, okay.
It's like taking a toddler to get his shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on his. I mean, this is out of character, or this is not out of character. This is out of game. Idaho is not going to say this, but I'm on his side. I'll be like, nah, I'm not giving you guys my blood unless I know exactly what you're doing with it. And if there's any left over, I want it back. I'm just trying to think, what's the practical way of getting this to happen? You know, so maybe it's possible.
So, Al, do we have a ad coming up?
It came and went.
Oh.
I wasn't gonna interrupt flow. Again, these are always recorded and put up on YouTube, so people can have the option of catching up.
You mean when we all took our pants off, the audience didn't see it? What the hell? What was going on
here for Tim?
No, because it looked like Goatsy. So, what are you guys going to? What's your next step here?
I have a quick question because I can't remember something.
Sure.
The librarian, those thin bloods that are down at the other bar.
Okay.
Do they belong to the Northeast Anarchs?
Yes, they do, and we're supposed to be going up there and kicking some ass tonight before this whole thing pops off.
I mean, the Northeast Anarchs certainly think so.
And they've been like those thin bloods have basically like been acting like,
punk bitches.
Well, I was gonna say like schoolgirls in like a boarding school or some shit. The nuns got them by their like fucking collars.
The only now, I don't know if I'm just having a hard time remembering, but the only one of those thin bloods I remember where the thin blood acted anything close to a jackass was, I think, the librarian. Teddy, I mean, has always been, a cool dude, even when he like was half dead. Right? Isn't that who I'm thinking? Teddy's the dealer, the big goth kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
the teddy bear dressed like a goth.
Librarian. Or was there someone else that I missed?
Well, we had the group that took Robin off.
No, it's at the club right now.
No, Teddy. Yeah, it was Teddy and the rest of the group. Like the other girl that was like, yeah, like so like the same people that have shown up with like our big old goth Teddy the last couple times.
Is that who's at the club right now?
I was gonna say, so Teddy, the librarian, the Slade.
Yeah, I'm not grouping Slade in with that. I'm just curious about the other ones besides him.
There are a couple other rotate in and rotate out.
Okay. I'm not sure the question was answered, but I guess I'll just roll with it.
Okay, can you reiterate the question?
Yeah, which ones are in the club right now that Al saw and took a picture of?
It would have been Teddy, the librarian, and Slade.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
Yep. So what are you guys gonna do?
Figure
Can we
out
go kick some ass?
About the other anarchs. I don't know. I kind of think an eye for an eye.
Revenge.
Have Teddy and the librarian and the rest of the thin bloods left for the evening.
No,
but they left the premises.
No, when Al left the bar, they were still hanging out the end of the bar with Ruby.
Let's see if Ruby and Lane can get them to come back to the apartments for a little after hours.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I feel like if they are claimed by the Northeast Anarchs, then if we keep them from them, we can bring them into our territory.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, we found out that the Northeast Anarchs basically are turning our enemies, are helping our enemies against us.
Right.
Um,
So, and the Northeast Anarchs came into the club and claimed these Thin Bloods before, and they were like, snap, snap, come along, little children, come on, puppies, come on.
yeah,
And they did.
Yeah.
And that
They
was the
had
same
to.
night. That was the same night Kai was murdered too.
Right.
I know
Right. And they knew that they were coming with the person who was going to murder Kai.
Right. Yeah, I know that too. So, are we saying we're going to just take their Thin Bloods and use them as bait for them to come to our place and then spring a trap on them? Or if we know they're already fucking with us, why are we even being that subtle?
Exactly. Like, we know they're already fucking with us. Why would we allow the return of their Thin Bloods after they came into our domain?
Okay. I'll just roll with whatever you guys want to do.
I feel like the Baron of Westphalia was like, oh, you came and retrieved your things while you brought the destruction of our person, and you think that there's freedom of motion in this territory for your claimants? I think not.
So what are you guys going to do now?
Well, Raul is on his way out of the city to a nice little like countryside vacation, right?
Well,
I thought he was gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't there?
Finally starting to
Oh
cooperate.
yeah. No, we did. We finally convinced him. Let's do that first. But in the meantime,
Have a
okay, no.
conversation with you guys about whether or not he would do it. He has not agreed to do it.
Yeah, no, he's
Right.
waiting on you guys. Need to figure out a way to.
What time in the evening is it right now?
It is probably 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Where's Jean Baptiste? Where did he go?
They retreated back up to their apartment.
All right. Since Idaho was able to get to, or was it Vic that was able to get to Raul, or
no, it was Idaho.
Idaho. Since you were able to get to Raul, and you have such a good rapport with Jean Baptiste, why don't you guys go and have the doctor's visit and go through the whole process and see what it entails?
Okay. Serenity, would you like to be a part of that? I think that you possibly should.
She kind of looks at Michael and she looks at you and she's like, yeah, I'll go.
Okay. I give her like a thankful nod.
So, Idaho, you and Raul and Threnody are on your way up to the Tremere. So, you guys are on your way going up. Vic, you were trying to say something?
I was just going to ask if she wanted me and Romano to go round up the Thin Bloods.
Oh, you were going to come to back up me and Mal.
Okay, so the other three of you are going to head to the club to do something about the Thin Bloods.
Collect them.
Okay.
To collect the Thin Blood.
Take them downstairs. We got cages down there.
Collect them.
Idaho, when you
like underage kids at a party, you got to wait for their parents to come pick them up.
Idaho, when you get up to the doors and you knock, Jean Baptiste answers with Marie in tow and seems very surprised to see you.
And Threnody and Roll are with me.
Yep.
Say, Jean Baptiste, do you have a minute to continue the conversation?
He goes, of course.
Had a little more discussion with our boy here. He is, of course, concerned with what will be done with his blood, and I don't blame him. So he's willing to listen to what it might take to convince him that nothing untoward is going to happen if he gives up that blood. One thing I was thinking, and I don't know if I'm on mark or not, but I assume you guys are taking the blood because you are using it in whatever ritual you're going to do. So
he goes, of
in
course.
its entirety.
And so, as I had said to Raul earlier, if there's some way to show to him that all of the blood you take is used for this ritual and there's none left over, maybe that'll make him feel better. We're just trying to think of some way to convince him that we're using it just for this and nothing else. So let's just try.
Show him.
So the Jean-Baptiste says, we have recently done a similar ritual for someone else who required answers to questions that they did not know if they possessed, shall we say. He opens the door and beckons you in. When you enter the apartment, the very entryway looks very normal, but as soon as you're basically past the vestibule, it is a mix of a lab, a fantasy style, witch's dungeon.
I was going to say a Victorian sitting room.
Yeah, it is very. There's nothing about this place that screams comfort, shall we say. It is all work. When he brings the three of you in, he holds up a metal mixing bowl, just like you might find at, at Sur La Table or something like that. It's nice, but it's just a mixing bowl, but inside of it is ash, not an inconsiderate amount. He goes, this is what will become of your vitae. He says, it just turns to ash. Raul looks at you and is like, is this that big of a deal?
Yes. It is that big of a deal. Something's very serious is going to go down in the very near future. And we need all the people we can get, all the strength we can get to help us, all the strength that we can trust. And right now, we can't trust you. This will help us to be able to do that.
Raul starts to roll up his sleeve. He says, and while he's doing it, he's like eyes locked on you, Idaho, and he goes, I'll do it. He's like, but if they do anything to me, they start following me around at night, or my cock falls off or something like that, he goes, I'm coming for you.
Okay.
He uses cock that much anyways?
Jean-Baptiste goes, that's a completely different ritual. We would need much more blood.
Bingo card.
Threnody gives a sensible chuckle. Jean-Baptiste laughs. Raoul does not laugh. So when he cuts his wrist and the blood drains out, into the mixing bowl, as it was. Jean-Baptiste has dumped the ash into the trash. The next thing that causes Raoul to be like, whoa, 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 is when Jean-Baptiste then cuts his own wrist and draws blood into the bowl as well. As he mixes them, he dips his finger into the bowl and holds it there. And 1 second. You have 3 questions.
We're allowed to ask 3 questions?
You have 3 questions that you can ask. So.
Holy shit. So it's not like we're unlocking his lost memory. We are asking 3 questions.
No, you are asking 3 questions for all of us because you're the only one there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
the other thing, so.
Are you really the president of the Quickie Mart?
Ma'am, I'd like to speak to the manager. Okay. Yeah.
You can. So here is the you will get. So here's a better way to do this. The answer basically has to be true, false, yes, no. Basically a binary answer.
Yeah, because otherwise my question could be, what happened to you over the last 2 days?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So 3 questions. And so this ritual, she's using up the blood and it's compelling him to tell us the truth? Is that how this works?
Yes, it's basically the blood is compelling him to tell the truth.
Isn't it more like the blood is compelling the truth out of him?
Yeah, that's probably a more accurate way of phrasing it.
Okay, so 3 questions. Have you been prepared in any way to betray us?
Jean-Baptiste thinks on this question for a moment. And says, no.
Well, I don't need the other 2 questions.
Has he already? But no. Has he already betrayed us?
I'm going to look at Threnody and say, do you want to ask him anything?
Threnody looks at Raoul and says, were you forced to go? And Jean-Baptiste immediately says, yes.
Okay, I'm not going to ask her anymore because I already knew the answer to that one.
Are you a red herring, or have you already betrayed us? Or good idea.
I mean, my thought process is, were you conditioned in there? I didn't say conditioned earlier. I don't remember what I said, but were you tampered with or whatever in any way to betray us? I don't know why that wouldn't include if he had already done it during that time period.
Yeah.
That's not like in the future. It's where you messed with in any way to betray us. That should cover everything.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement.
Fair.
So
Okay.
I'm really feeling like I don't know if I need
Okay.
to.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're fair.
Okay. Do we need to send you away to protect us from you?
Jean-Baptiste shakes his head and says, too open-ended, try again.
Simplify.
Yeah,
Are
but
you
I'm
a
not
danger
asking
to
that
us?
anymore. Do we need to send you away to protect in order to protect?
Are you a danger to us?
Yeah, but see, the answer to that could easily be yes. I mean, he's a freaking super powerful vampire. Theoretically, he's a danger to us and everyone else. I really don't know. I don't know the third question. I mean,
This might be them just having us chase a pawn around the board.
Do our enemies want us to send you away?
Jean-Baptiste shakes his head again and says he doesn't have that information.
Shit. I'm going to look at Raul and say, you know what, Raul, all I wanted to know was whether or not we could trust you. And it sounds like we can. You were missing for, how many days was he missing? 2, 3?
It's been a couple.
You now have an opportunity. Huh?
Threnody pipes up and goes, did you enjoy your time away?
Seriously, Trinity?
Yeah.
Jean-Baptiste goes, yes.
Mm.
I was just going to see if he wanted to ask any questions about it.
Interesting.
Jean-Baptiste sets the bowl down and tilts it towards Raul. And as he does it, you literally watch the blood, the liquidity of the blood kind of boils out. And as the liquid kind of vaporizes in front of you, all that is left is this very, very fine ash that is left in the bowl. Which Idaho, by the way, smells moderately edible.
So are you going to eat that, or I mean, can I do a triple line?
You'd eat a hot dog off the boardwalk in Coney Island, wouldn't you, Idaho?
Gross.
Again? Sure, why not?
Is that a euphemism for something?
Oh boy.
Oh God, it could be. Hey guys, check your kink bingo cards.
I'm going to look at Raul and be like, all right, what do you think? Now that you
Don't
know.
forget you've got that free card.
He's kind of wrinkling. Raul kind of wrinkles his nose and kind of goes, I don't know how I feel about all this. He goes, you're right. He's like, I don't think they're gonna follow me or anything weird like that. He kind of side eyes at Jean-Baptiste. He goes, I don't like this. He's like, I won't do this again.
Well, I don't like Anarch being divided, and I don't like us being treated like shit by other groups in town that think they can treat us like shit. And maybe if we got together and put a number on them, that wouldn't happen anymore.
He goes, Threnody goes, sounds fucking good to me.
So Raul, now that we're done with that, maybe we can fill you in on some stuff, because I don't think Raul really knows what we have and what we possibly have planned.
So, are you going to? Is that what you're going to do? Is fill him in on?
No, I mean,
Not everything.
I'm basically going to say, because it just dawned on me when we were going through this whole thing that he doesn't really know the severity of what's going on.
He doesn't
So
even know Russia invaded Ukraine.
okay, I'm not. I'm just okay. So now that we're done with this, and I'm going to look at Jean Baptiste, I'm going to say thank you, Jean Baptiste, and say some really serious shit is going to be going down soon, and we'll be wanting to talk to you guys to get some participation on your end as well.
He nods and says, "Though our hopes are growing faint, any word about Adelaide? Have you?"
We went and visited Gigi. I'm assuming he knows who Gigi is. And we got some really good information from Gigi, and we gave him some amazing information. And they don't know anything about her, but we basically said we've got someone else from our group that's missing, and if they come across any information, to let us know. And so far, we haven't heard anything.
He sighs and he goes, "We are beginning to fear the worst."
Well, if you have information to follow up on leads and you need extra boots on the ground, you got them. Just let us know what we can do to help.
He nods and he goes, "We will take you up on that. Thank you."
Yeah. In the meantime, Raul, let's go back and see the others and let them know what we found out.
So you guys are on your way back. Vic, Michael, Al, you're back at the club. How are you going to approach the Thin Bloods? How are you going to approach this situation?
Jovially, friendly, more like a seduction, trying to get them into the VIP room.
So when you get there, Slade and Teddy and the librarian are still sitting at the end of the bar, chatting up with Ruby while she's cleaning up. Slade and Teddy are very, very avidly conversing with her. The librarian, on the other hand, is
keeping an eye out.
Sitting on her phone is actually is basically avidly texting or talking with someone on her phone. When the three of you come into the club, Ruby looks up, big smile. Teddy looks up, and
smile disappears.
He doesn't seem like he really cares. Slade looks up and is like, "It's the motherfucking boss man."
Oh.
And he holds up his phone, and it starts playing a MIDI theme of the old WWF wrestler, the Big Boss Man.
Oh my god!
I don't even know this one. I might be.
The librarian, on the other hand, her face noticeably sours at the three of you.
Full blood.
So what are you guys gonna do?
I'm going to saunter up, all smiles, all charm, turning it on to 11 before I even have to do any damn things. Saunter on behind the bar and just start being like, "I'm so glad you guys have found a place here. I'm glad you guys have connected with our Rain and our Ruby. You have to let me treat you to shots." And I start pouring shots, and then I insist, and I'm gonna start softening them up.
Ruby is kind of she's not saying anything, but she's definitely kind of taken aback by this whole thing, and she's Ruby Al. She's very, very making eye contact with you and kind of giving you this what the fuck look.
Yeah, I slide over to her.
Give her a squeeze and reinforce the yes, thank you so much.
I wanted to ask something real fast.
Sure.
Was Ruby with us when we went to see Gigi?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. I think she still had a hole in her chest.
Yeah, she was still
Just
back
last
at
night,
the.
I was just curious if she had gone with us or not.
No,
Okay.
yeah,
No,
she
was.
and Threnody and Haddonfield were still like had
Mhm.
gaping non-human
Oh,
wounds.
last night, Haddonfield was hanging out at the bar. I mean, I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
if Ruby
no,
was
yeah, no. That was she was not as injured, but she was still.
So she didn't go. That's all I need to
No,
know.
yeah, that's she didn't
Thanks.
go. So Al, you also go behind the bar to. What do you? So you put your arm around Ruby, or?
Yeah, just still, listening in on what, on Michael's conversation, but I after noticing her looking at me that way, I figured that she's got something to share at some point.
Vic, what are you doing?
Also, Al, like you would have seen me operate a million times, so you know, like if I'm actively smoozing somebody, you would recognize it by now.
I'm standing behind him.
Doesn't make me happy about it.
Just doing the.
Yeah, just
They are all like you're pouring shots. Teddy is happy to accept. Slade and the librarian take the shots, but look a little confused. Kind of doing that whole, like they're looking kind of down the shots and then kind of back at you, Michael, kind of being like, the look on their faces. Why are we being given props again?
Right.
Well, you're here at the end of the night, so let's close out the bar.
Al,
World War III has started. Why not celebrate each other?
when you have your arm around Ruby, you look across the club, and you can see at the other bar, Lane and Rhea are closing up their bar too. But from where you are, in the mirror behind their bar, you see someone else.
Like in the reflection, like in the mirror, like Jonathan Strange portal kind of thing.
I mean, the best way to say it is it looks as if there is a third reflection in the mirror that is not obviously present by the.
Okay. I think trusting that trusting that Michael's got the situation handled, I think I would start moving in that direction. Investigate.
So
Sense the unseen.
Well, I've got to get closer.
Are you going by yourself, or are you going with Ruby? Are you taking her with you?
I think I would start leading the way, but give her a hand to squeeze and be like, you come in, as to not interrupt what's going on.
So she follows you guys. She kind of is doing this kind of like she wants to find out what's going on with Michael behind the bar. But she senses something about you, and she definitely follows you.
Okay. Yeah, once I'm close enough to sense the unseen, then I'd probably get that lined up.
Okay. So wits and aspects.
Wits and
4 and
aspects.
2. I think.
Oh, what's a witty girl?
4 and 2.
Wits 4 and 4, 3. Your aspects is 3, so
Oh.
7. So 5 and 2.
2. Well, fuck me.
Wow,
Third
that's
time tonight. What the
I was gonna
hell?
say that's
Something's got to be missed. I am honestly calling out the game right, or the
Roll20.
Roll20 right now, because we
That
had a whole
happened.
game where I rolled literally nothing but 2s.
The chances
The
of that
odds
happening
are way more
astronomically
like
against-
against us than they have been with us lately.
Mm.
Spin it with a power.
That still only rolls half.
We roll 3.
And what's 3 going to get me out of that?
well. I was actually here is the what I can tell you, even with having all misses, is there is nothing in the bar that seems out of place. There is nothing that is.
Except for the bodiless reflection in the mirror.
However, Al, as you get closer to the to Lane's bar, and both Lane and Rhea look up when they see you, as if to greet you, but what you see in the mirror, as you come up, it is
I'm listening.
tall shadow that is,
Yoru, come on.
for just a second, it seems like maybe it's beckoning to you, maybe it's reaching out for you.
Hold on.
Me fucking crazy because somebody keeps closing the bathroom, so I apologize for that. I'll have to put a sign up. Continue.
When as you draw closer, you see this tall shadow. It seems to be reaching out to you, beckoning to you. Its motions are difficult to perceive.
This frogman?
But what you do see, just for a glimpse, is when you look at Ruby's reflection, it doesn't look like Ruby at all. Her hair is not pastel colored. It's her natural mousy brown that you know that she has. Her clothes seem almost formal. There is blood running from the corners of her eyes, and her mouth is permanently carved back in a Chelsea grin with teeth exposed. And just like that, it's gone. Ruby gives a little bit of a squeak, and you realize that you've been squeezing her hand so hard that it hurts.
Would this be an occult roll?
You could roll occult if you wanted.
Let's try that.
We'll say. We will say your wits and occult. So 3, 4, 3, 7. So 5 and 2. Same roll again.
And it'll be a 0.
Or it'll be awesome in the opposite direction.
Hey.
Well, now I get to clip that.
So, this does not strike you as something that is occult. This is you know. You would know that figure in the mirror anywhere. You would know that shadow in any bar, any restaurant, any bathroom, any building, any wash. You know exactly who that is. What you don't know is why Ruby looked like that to you. I know. At about this point, you and Threnody and Raoul have arrived on the scene. So you see, when you walk in, you see Al staring into the mirror behind Lane and Ria's bar, holding Ruby's hand. Ruby starting to look a little panicked. With Michael schmoozing with the Thin Bloods at the end of the bar, with Vic kind of mean mugging from behind.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess me and I mean, I'm not going to speak for the other two, but I assume they're kind of walking with me, but we're going to kind of come up on it. And based on what I heard earlier with us wanting to do something with these Thin Bloods, I'm just going to sort of post up, not right up on them, but close enough and just kind of see what happens.
When you post up, Slade is like, it's my favorite motherfucking state.
Like, dude, I love this outfit on you. Oh my God.
Is Slate finish up that joke with, because Idaho?
I say, man, that outfit is super green.
And that was the exact shitty response I needed from a shitty pun.
He's like, man, there's a guy in downtown Philly who does complete perfect, like 1-to-1 on movie reproductions and stuff like that, but then he alters them because, he gestures to his crotch. He's like, because I need some alterations. Raoul, rolls his eyes, so hard that you could actually almost hear the groan.
Sounds like billiard balls. So is Slade still holding the shot that he was given?
Yes.
I'm going to look at that shot and go, and kind of lean into him and say, are you able to drink? Because I don't remember if I've ever seen him drink or not.
He goes, no. He goes, I wish. He goes, I miss it.
Yeah, me too. I really miss it. Definitely.
He's like, okay. But, he's like, it's good for a prop.
Yeah, we all do it, I guess, to some degree or another. Okay, cool.
Teddy, sips his, and he goes, not all of us use them for a prop. And Slade's like, shut the fuck up, Teddy.
Are you ready to slap his ass? Because I'm ready to slap his ass.
Teddy kind of gives you a big, drunken, kind of sloppy smile, and he's like, I don't know. I could be in for some ass slapping.
Nice.
Ooh, yes. Seduce. Help me seduce them. Bring them into downstairs.
You should keep drinking a little bit more, and then we could take you back to our place and show you the real fun.
The librarian goes, I don't think that's going to happen. I think our ride is going to be here. She looks at her watch that's not on her wrist and goes, any minute now.
So my aspects I have, because I don't have access to my book. At aspects level 1 and 2, what do I get?
Aspects, you have Sense the Unseen.
No, I mean presence. Sorry, presence.
Awe, Daunt, and Dread Gaze.
Okay. To Half-Bloods, how apparent would be that they're being in awe?
So awe is it would be fairly apparent that you're turning something on as you look more attractive. You have a much better presence to you when you use awe. You kind of get that light up the room thing going on. As Idaho can attest, whenever he's had to use awe in a crowd of people and then suddenly had everybody and their mother grabbing his jock. So yes, so they would, if you turn on awe, they would know. Similarly, if you turn on daunt, you immediately become more threatening. So it's one of those things where even if they didn't know you were using vampiric powers, they would immediately pick up on the change in mood or in the change in temperature, as the way you're saying it. And of course, if you use dread gaze, that definitely will.
Okay, I'm gonna do a persuasion roll because I am literally just trying to like find something in her that I can like.
Okay, so are you okay?
Like I'm trying to seduce hard, but like
Okay.
without giving away that I'm doing this. Like I'm trying to like be like, hey, I have this thing, just come down, let's like till
Okay.
your friend comes, what's the rush? Why
Okay.
don't they come in?
Okay, so here is the question for you. Are
Hmm.
you turning on awe before you do this? Or are you just going straight in for, or are you turning on awe at all? Or
No, yet.
okay, so you're just doing a persuasion roll.
Right.
Okay, so we will say your charisma and persuasion. So you're looking at 4, 3, 7, 6, and 1.
Hold on. I have to get a better keyboard for this fucking thing. Okay. You said 6 and 1?
6 and 1.
Mm. This is what happens when you're a Luddite and all of a sudden you jump forward and you're like, I'm going to use a thing. And here we go.
Oh,
What the hell? Wow, that's insane.
So
Sometimes it glitches in your favor.
Okay, let's all roll real quick.
Use that for whatever else we have to have.
so what exactly are you, before I illustrate this, what exactly are you attempting to persuade the librarian to do?
To join us in the basement for fun.
Or like to come, like until her ride shows up to like relax a bit. I don't want her or the Thin Bloods out of the club or able to leave the club when their ride shows up without overtly like grabbing them and throwing them in cells.
Okay. So
I'm trying to draw them into a secluded, very predatory. I know, like I sound great, right? Yeah.
So what ends up actually happening is that they are not all that keen to move off the bar, you turn the charm up on the librarian, and you are so charming that you could sell refrigerators to Canadians in the dead of winter. You are like these
Selling
people.
water to a drowning man.
Yeah, you are. It is. Even the librarian is pulled into conversation and is somewhat more likable. She's kind of an awful person, or at least has the personality of cardboard, but even she, participates more actively in the conversation and is more receptive and laughs when you joke and responds to the conversation in all the ways that she is supposed to.
Does she also respond to like small flirty touches and stuff like that?
No, not at all. She doesn't. She's not overtly rejecting you.
But like if I like tried to like touch her wrist or something, she would like pull her hand back.
No, you get nothing off of it. It's the amount of chemistry that is being like on in terms of like that kind of stuff, almost non-existent. Like
Ace is always getting in the middle of my plans.
So, while all of this is going on, Alice, what are you doing?
I'm still trying to figure out. You said
Alice,
that I
you're
recognize.
muted. You have to click off of the chat.
Oh, I know. I
hate it. I hate it so much.
Well, there was also someone in the restroom, so I was trying to. So you in my last scene, I was told that I knew who this person was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still racking my brain. Who the fuck am I thinking of?
It's the woman from the wash.
Oh, who?
It's the woman from the wash.
Okay. Yeah, I know exactly who this is.
The wash?
Who this? When I went down in the sewers.
Oh yeah.
Her solo thing.
The mystical whatever. But I'm still, and this might be a little meta, I'm still confused as to why if I did Sense the Unseen and there was nothing to pick up on, how was I seeing her? Or is Alice feeling a little crazy right now? Was it? I would think it was all in my head, but Ruby saw it too.
Why not?
Ruby saw it too?
No.
Well, then what? So. Oh, I thought you said that she freaked out about something.
She freaked out because you squeezed your hand so hard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of you, because of what you saw.
I think I will, at this point, rejoin Michael and see how that's going for him. Even though I hate this librarian bitch. And then I will figure out a time
Just
to
come up behind her.
Research.
Make it a little harder for her to get to the
my my Lady of the Lake, what have you.
So
I need to reach out and figure out more on that.
So you're rejoining the group of all the Thin Bloods and everybody while Michael is being exceptionally charming. Michael's behind the bar slinging drinks. Idaho, you're watching all of this. What are you doing?
So did the 6 critical hit not get them to head down to somewhere else?
No, but the party is staying right there at the bar. Like, they're not leaving. They have no interest in leaving anymore.
Like, I've managed to soften up Ice Queen as much as physically possible.
Yep.
Like, you're not going to get more than that. And it's like her actually like not paying attention to her phone and not waiting for her ride to show up.
Well, all I can say is what's going through Idaho's head. Otherwise, she's just kind of chilling out there, and the club hasn't closed down yet, and just kind of watching.
The club has definitely closed down. This
is the after party.
Closed down. This is after hours. We're doing like a private little after party, trying to keep the Northeast
bar,
Anarchs pets.
Like Lane and Rhea are closing down the bar.
Like this bar was closed until I reopened it and started trying to get Teddy and Librarian.
If we're closed, let's just grab them. Just grab them and take them.
That's what I'm saying. You guys are supposed to be like, I'm charming them, distracting, and you guys are supposed to be closing in behind them.
I
So
said
when
I'm
the guy
standing
does,
behind them like this.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
standing right behind them.
yeah, you, yeah.
So
Okay. Anyway, yeah. I'm just watching the whole drama unfold.
okay, Vic, what are you doing?
If this isn't working out, I think I'm just gonna grab a librarian.
I mean, at this point, everybody seems to just be kind of having a like it's actually. I won't say it's turned into a party, but they actually seem like they are.
At this point, I would lean over to Michael and just try to plant the seed of like, what's the plan? Where are we going from here? Are we going to move the party away from the club? Like, what?
Well, no, we had a plan when we were going in. When we left, we were like, we're not letting them leave because there are the Northeast pets. The Northeast came to
Okay,
come
then
get
we
their
need to
pets
figure
while
out
they.
where we're putting them.
We're not putting them anywhere yet because once their ride comes up, they don't get to leave, so their ride has to come in.
And that is where our session,
Knew it.
though not our chronicle, ends for this evening. So we will be starting. We will be starting this next session at the end of the evening. So the rest of this evening will resolve, and then we will start the next day on our next session. He has been awarded. If anybody
I need
wants
to
to
look at that. Yeah.
wants to spend it, and with that,
Let's see.
we're done for tonight.
Experience. I have 21.
You got some XP to spend.
So, Knox, when is your book coming out?
My book, the one that I haven't done any editing on in like over a decade, I have no idea.
I don't know because yeah. Talk about world building,
I talked to Idaho
character
about
creation.
talked to Skot about books. He's got 3 or 4 of them out now,
Oh, I know.
and they're all on Amazon.
I know.
So let's see. I took. Okay, let's share the senses. Cloud memory.
I was trying to flatter your storytelling skills very poorly.
I'm gonna put this in.
Not trying to ignore you, Scott, at all.
No, I got you. I agree with you.
So
Good storytelling, good improv.
I just put something in Philly by Night Picks. It helped you out.
oh, let me see.
So
I'm trying to figure out if I want to spend it tonight in case I have questions from.
Did we already push people over to the raid?
No.
Okay. We're still alive.
But whatever you sent me a messenger isn't showing up. So you and I can do this later, Zach. That's perfectly fine. You usually can answer my questions if I can't get a hold of Knox.
So worth mentioning here, any XP spends that happen, you can spend them now or you can wait till next time. But just remember that you don't get anything until
the next night starts.
The next night starts.
Correct. Okay, well, I'll take care of that off stream. I want to thank my coterie for being here tonight. Knox, our storyteller. Scott plays Idaho. Zach plays Victor. Martha plays Michael. And I'm your Alice. Thanks so much for staying up with us, guys. Please hold on. The Be Right Back screen, and I will get you rated over to a friend. Thanks again for joining us tonight. And I should see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.